the game. No time to waste. Let's start up that clock. So here we are. Ben versus Isaac, the two 3-0s of the tournament, the two current best players with the current best recorded players at this event. So let's see what these 3-0s can do for us here. Ben, it looks like he is going first and is opening us up with this Purloin in the active. Gonna Ultra Ball, sending his Guzzlord away immediately. He must be banking on the fact that he has something like Rescue Stretcher and other cards in the deck. And something about Guzzlord too, it's kind of a safe discard early on, because you really have no reason to play it immediately in the match. You want to save it for the turn where you can B-string to it, because it normally takes 4 energies to attack, 2 darks and 2 colorless. That's not really likely to set up in a timely manner, as you could say, for this format. So we rely on hitting the B-string and the Guzzlord together, and then having a twin energy to go with it to power it up all in one turn, and that's when you start taking the tide back of the game, like we saw him do last round against Nomar playing the Lightning deck. So, Isaac, we're now going to see his turn, opening us up with this Entei in the active from the Lost Thunder expansion. We'll start throwing card images on the screen for all of you. Where is Entei? So there is that Entei from the Lost Thunder expansion with that Fire Fang attack dealing 20 and your opponent's act is not burned, but we like it for Eruption. 80 plus. It's each player discards the top card of their deck. This card does, or this attack does 60 more damage for each energy card discarded in this way. So the idea here is Isaac is playing cards like Smooth Over Mag Cargo that says once per turn you can put any card you want in your deck right on top. So this is a way for him to guarantee Eruption's added damage. He can just move a fire energy to the top. And then the rest of his deck is incredibly synergetic with each other. He has the Roast Reveal Salazzle that says once per turn you can discard a fire energy to it to draw 2 cards. There is a Giant Hearth that says you can discard a card to it to look for 2 fire energies. There's the Ninetales from Team Up with the 9 Temptations ability that we saw back in the Reshizard deck back in the day that says you can discard 2 fire energies to it to gust something on your opponent's board, meaning you can move a Pokemon from their bench to the active immediately for the low cost of 2 fire energies on this Ninetales. There's also the Charizard with Continuous Blaze Ball that is in the deck. There is a Cinderace with the Libero ability as well. There is so many good fire cards. At first, people looked at fire like a meme when in its inception, but this deck is pretty good, as Isaac's been showing us here. 3-0 currently, and it's currently facing up against the next best deck in the tournament, this Dark deck. So let's see what Ben can do for us on this next turn. We see the Hoopa come out. Air Balloon. What a huge... Oh my goodness. What a big turn immediately from Ben. Slamming the Liepard, slamming the Hoopa, Rescue Stretchering back the Guzzlord, and playing down that Professor's Research for a fresh hand of 7, getting the high 5 from Isaac. For those of you that remember playing Juniper for, you know, fresh hand of 7 when it's the last card in your hand, you give your opponent the high 5. It's kind of a boomer thing at this point, right? And we also have Trade on this Liepard too. This Liepard's actually crazy. It says once per turn you can discard a card to it to draw 2 cards. It literally says Trade, word for word. So if you guys remember Zorark GX, this card is just, you know, a little bit of a love letter to it. Attaching the Dark Energy to that Hoopa, and we will see an Assault Gate this turn. And let's get the hoops on the screen. Oh, that is, there it is, the Darkness Blaze one. Bam! 1 energy, it does 90. If this Pokemon didn't move from the bench to the active spot during this turn, this attack does nothing. So it has to be on your bench first. Retreating for free with the Air Balloon. and hitting for 90 damage with Assault Gate into this Entei. And with the Devoured Field out, it's going to do an extra 10 damage, putting it up to 100 damage from one attack for one energy. But Welder, a crazy card. Very good in a singleton format like this. Welder attaching 2 fire energies to that active Entei. Isaac now has access to Eruption. Eruption dealing that 80 base, and then if both players blow up the top card of their deck and reveal an energy, it does 60 damage for each energy revealed that way. So if Isaac can find a way to get to or get a fire energy to the top of his deck before he does this attack, then he is sitting pretty. But at the moment, I don't think he has any way to do that other than the Macargo, unless Isaac is playing Switching Cups or something like that, and I don't know. Ben is gonna win. Yo, we hope. Nah, JK, unbiased commentary. We want everyone to win. We want them both to win simultaneously. Level Ball, searching out the Slugma. Slugma hitting the bench. Host has favorites. Oh my gosh, I'm doxxed. He's got me, he's got me, he's got me. Yo, yours does too? That's insane. Attaching Burning Energy to the Vulpix. Burning Energy saying when this card is detached from this Pokemon for an effect, it comes right back. Blowing up the top of Ben's deck with Eruption, and Ben was going to top deck a Dark Energy, so it does knock out the Hoopa. Isaac going down to 5 prizes, taking first blood in this round. Absolutely cracked. Didn't even need to be Isaac the one that had to manipulate the top card of his deck. Ben did all the work for him. Quick Ball to, sorry, we're discarding Quick Ball for trade on the Liebird. Liepard, not currently saved in my inventory of cards, so let's go and search it out. There we go. He lost Ninetales though. Oh, he did? Oh, he did lose it just now. Now I see at the top of his discard pile. Rip. Bad streamer. Whoa, 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 whoa. Relax, relax. Who let you in here anyways? But, anyhow, yeah, Isaac has no access to the Ninetales. I was about to say Alolan Ninetales. Access to the Ninetales in his discard pile at the moment. If Isaac was to have a card like Rescue Stretcher, Super Rod, anything like that could pick up the Ninetales. Yo, actually Rescue Carrier could pick it up too, right? Because Ninetales only has 90 HP, if I'm not mistaken. That card was a house when it was in Standard. Everyone was scared of it. If that Ninetales actually only has 90 HP, that is ridiculous. Oh, it has 100 HP. 100 HP. Barely hanging on. Luke, download all these cards for me, please. Yeah, Ninetales had 100 HP, so this card would have been really good if Isaac could have had access to it this turn. Guzzlord, though, now looking pretty safe on the bench with this Fighting Fury Belt attached to it. It now has 190 HP effectively, and it does 10 more damage. So Red Banquet would do 130 as opposed to its normal 120 base. Ben, not really liking how the rest of his turn went out, so instead of sacrificing one of his 3 very important Pokemon that are all in play right now, pivoting into the Weavile and leaving that to essentially soak a knockout. Ben, seeing that Isaac doesn't have access to Ninetales, shows that it's kind of a safe play to keep it in the active, unless Isaac is to, you know, whip out an escape rope or other means of pulling something off of the bench. Ben's bench is pretty safe this turn. Gloria, being the supportive return from Isaac, gonna search his deck for 3 basic Pokemon that don't have a rule box and add them to his hand. Pay me, I will do stuff for you, or let me be a sponsor for free. Oh, bro. Just do both. Can I pay you in forehead kisses? Isaac grabbing the rest of the meat and potatoes of this deck, actually. Grabbing the Salandit, the Ho-Oh, and the Score Bunny. That Score Bunny is going to turn into a very good Cinderace eventually. The Ho-Oh we saw in a previous round, just literally sweeping the board and getting the MVP tag at the end of the PTCGO game. I think that Ho-Oh alone did like over 400 damage. Attaching 1 fire to the Ho-Oh. Eruption again. Does Ben... Oh, geez, but still loses his muscle band. Ouch. This is a pretty painful discard off the top of Ben's deck. There is no way in his deck to get tool cards back. We're not playing Eco Arm. But this Weavile surviving with 10 HP, but sadly enough, it would just do 0 damage even if it was to attack. So he has access to Icy Wind, which can just leave the opponent's active Pokemon asleep, but no way to deal extra damage with Evil Admission. And let's go ahead and get some cards in the meantime while Ben is solitaring. Colress, very powerful supporter in this format. Shuffle your hand into your deck and draw a number of cards equal to the number of bench Pokemon in play. So Ben is getting a big fat 8 cards off of this. Yo, why did they call the new Sneasel evolution Sneasler? Does he sneeze a lot or something? Like, I don't get the name one bit. Okay, we already, yeah, Weavile, Evil. Luke just donated $1. Kiss me in the target, the target card section. I can do that. We can do that right in front of all of the empty shelves and useless tins that no one's buying. Thanks for that $1 donation. Definitely helps out the stream. We very much appreciate it. We love you, bro. Zoroark using that stand-in ability to jump right into the active. Put the wrong card on the screen, chat. Look at me. Zoroark, this card was also a house back in the day. If you guys remember that one Mexico regional a few years back where Danny Altavilla won that event playing this crazy card. Playing Foxy Drampa was the name of the deck. It revolved around this Zoroark and Zoroark Break and Drampa from the Guardians Rising expansion. Very cool deck. Thanks, Danny. We saw him take it to a first place, and that deck started to see a lot of popularity among tournaments right after that. And Ben taking a prize in this set, equaling himself up to Isaac, both sitting at 5. But this Ho-Oh, very terrifying with that Fire Blast attack, which will definitely one-shot this Zoroark. Isaac going down to 4. And I believe, chat, I think it's real Beast Ring hours right now for Ben. Like I said, it's real Beast Ring hours. Searching out the 2 dark energies, attaching them to the Guzzlord. Oh no! Only the 1. Does he have Raihan, though? If Ben had Raihan and then searches his deck for the double colorless, that would be the most cracked turn ever. Do we have access to it, Ben? No, I'm seeing him flirting. He's flirting with the escape rope. There's a lot of energy in his hand, too. Losing that one off of the discard from Entei also really is proving to be destructive right now. We're going to build some spite on the Spiritomb, adding 1 damage counter to it. Clara is a card that we have available to us. Something that would be really cool here is if Ben had the Galarian Moltres. It's not in his prizes. Ben is slow playing, ban him. True, true, true. Or if Ben did find Dark Patch DCE as well, but oh my goodness. The card for turn was not, or the supporter for turn was not a searching supporter, just a Clara. Still a fine card. Maybe Ben is lacking the search and the other draw supporters in his hand that I can't see. But Clara, very good supporter, saying pick up, or do one or both, pick up 2 Pokemon, or pick up 2 basic energies from your discard pile, put them into your hand. We see Zora coming back into play. Hoopa, attaching the dark energy to it. We now have Assault Gate ready to go again. Retreating for free on the Liepard. Has Ben traded yet? I don't think Ben is traded yet. And just 90 damage onto the Ho-Oh. Back to Isaac's turn. Or sorry, 100 damage rather, because of the Devoured Field. Devoured Field is a stadium on Ben's side that says it adds another 10 for Dark and Dragon Pokemon attacks. You know, Isaac looking over at Ben's discard too, trying to determine what resources he has left available to him. Ben's deck is already looking pretty thin. He has drawn through most of it. I mean, so the rest of the cards Ben needs are either in his hand or what's left in his deck there. We do see his prizes already flipped over here. That Dark Patch would have been insane last turn. Maybe looking to KO Ho with Guzzlord and not two-shotted. That, I could see that as well. But, man, losing that energy, that would have been the one energy that was in his deck before Eruption took it out. Attaching a basic fire to the Score Bunny. Bruno. No, Ben, you don't shuffle. You're good, Ben. Yeah. No knockout was taken, though, so Bruno not going to net as many cards as Isaac would probably want off of this. Do I have Bruno in here? Yes, I do. Bruno is a supporter of choice. Yo, Mark, you want to just cut the stream off and play Valorant? Can I play Phoenix? So Isaac only going to get 4 cards off of that Bruno. We see Stretcher, Nest Ball. Is that? I think that's his Magma Basin as the other card. No, I can't play Phoenix. I don't know, bro. I don't know if I can do it then. I'm only allowed to play bad operatives. Ooh, that Volcanion moving to the top of the discard pile. Magma Basin is also in Isaac's hand. Nest Ball, gonna take a quick peek at the deck and see what we have, what we're still working with here. Lots of evolution Pokemon. There is the Charmander that's available for a Nest Ball target. So maybe not going to search out the Volcanion and possibly get that later. Isaac doesn't have the second energy to go with it in order for it to use High Heat Blast to get that extra damage. Yeah, it's looking like start setting up the Charizard. Real Charizard hours. So, Nest Ball, I don't think is going to get anything. It looks like we're just failing it. Tough decision here. But that's why we make these rounds 40 minutes. I think 40 minutes best of one for a Swiss GLC tournament is pretty good. Considering it's all one prizers and you have to take 6 raw prizes. Usually, you know, you do have like cards like Guzzlord and stuff. But yeah, so it's usually hard to complete 3 games like that. Or sorry, complete 1 game in 30 minutes with a singleton format. So 40 minutes I think is good. It gets those first like really slow turns out of the way where you're not really doing anything other than setting up. So attaching, or he rescue stretchered for the 9 Temptations Ninetails. Now I think we're using Smooth Over on the Magcargo. Isaac wanted to smooth over that Oak to the top of the deck. And we'll probably just see a Sacred Fire here for Isaac to take out the bench Spirit Tomb. Yep, and gonna knock out that Spirit Tomb and go down to 3 prizes. That card is very threatening, as it just literally does what it says. It builds Spite, builds up damage, and attacks for a lot. So, it being a threat, Isaac sees that and takes it out quickly with the Ho-Oh. That Sacred Fire attack. For 2 fires, or sorry, for a fire and a colorless, you can just deal 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Trading the Liepard. Alright, he traded away a Dark Energy and then drew the Moltres. Ooh, and we see 3 in hand, but does he really want to commit this to just knocking out the Ho-Oh? That's the question. And that is the rock and hard place that Ben is currently in and why he hasn't just slammed it yet. Because now, if Isaac just happens to find his way into... Because he's gonna Sycamore this turn coming up. So if he finds his way into Rare Candy's Cinderace, it's pretty scary for him. Alright, so here is Super Odd. Going to shuffle up a combination of up to 3 of Pokemon and Basic Energy. So we see Zoroark, a Dark Energy, and Spirit Tomb entering back into the deck. That Zora on the bench can now become a Zoroark again. We now have access to Spirit Tomb again. And there's another Dark Energy back in the deck. So if Ben had Escape Rope or something like that to get this Hoopa out of the act and put something else on up front, put the Liepard up front, could start working with that. And he actually does have the Escape Rope. So let's see. So we're gonna float instead into the Moltres and just use Moltres' attack to take the KO onto Ho-Oh. And this Galarian Moltres is currently a house in Standard right now, with that super, super sweet Fiery Wrath attack, dealing at 20 plus 50 for each prize card your opponent has taken. Very great late game sweeper in the Standard format currently. We see it taking out big old Goliaths like Arceus and Duraludon and stuff like that all the time. So Ben sitting at 4 prizes, Isaac at 3 right now. Isaac hoping to find the cards to take a knockout onto this Galarian Moltres. Does he hit? I see the Rare Candy in his hand. Does he have access to the Libero Cinderace? I don't. So, yeah, we'll see off of this Scorched Earth. Oh, and no need to see off of it. He's just going to move it straight to the top with Smooth Over. And let's get Cinderace on the screen, because that card's about to do some serious work, too. Rare Candy into Cinderace. So Cinderace has the ability Libero. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench of the active spot, you may move, or you may attach 2 fires from your discard pile to it, and then it does Flare Striker for 190. Just enough damage, or more than enough damage, to take out this Galarian Moltres. Getting that Charmander out as well. I don't know what tool that is on the Slanded in the active. I could probably assume it's just like a retreating card of sorts, right? And it is. Libero's going to activate and attach 2 fires from the discard to this Cinderace. And then Flare Striker will deal 190, taking the KO on to the active Galarian Moltres. Isaac moving down to 2 prize cards. Liepard in the active. 170 life on the Cinderace too. It is absolutely massive. And it can one-shot the Guzzlord as well. Guzzlord only able to deal 130. So not able to KO the Cinderace. Ben could have a turn where he goes Dark Patch, attach double colorless Guzma, and take out the Ninetales maybe on the bench. So then Isaac can't just start shooting things up to... he can't just start gussing things left and right, or he can go for the Cargo, stop him from putting cards on the top of his deck. Many things, many lines of play that would be great for Ben here. I mean, we see E-Rope, yeah. Looks like Cynthia and Caitlyn will be the supportive return, discarding the Escape Rope. Gonna add a supporter back to the hand, and then draw 3 cards. Adding back N. We saw this card win the game for Ben last round. Drawing 3, we see Scoop Up Net, Level Ball, and DCE enter the hand, but no patch. Level Ball. Looks for the Coughing. Hey, this is a pretty good ability. And we see there's enough Dark Energies in the discard pile if Ben did have access to the Dark Patch. Let's see if he draws it here. Nest Ball, and not it, unfortunately. Scoop Up Net to pick up the Evil Admission Weavile. Does he bench it again? Does he want to set it back up? Nest Ball from Ben. Do we have any more targets even? We do see the Spiritomb in the deck. Ben opting to not take it. This Cinderace is probably the checkmate card right here. Card is just way too big. 170 and it does 190. Yo, why was fire ever bad? There's so many good attackers in this color. 90 damage. Does Isaac have a way to switch and get the Cinderace back in the active? I mean, he can just attach for turn and deal another 190, go down to 1 prize. That's probably what he's going through in his head right now. Is, do I attach this energy, take the knockout, go down to 1, and then I need to somehow discover a way to, or I could smooth over a card that lets me switch, and then bam, I'll have the win right there. So here's smooth over. Let's see what card he decides to put to the top. Clara. Clara will be the card that picks up energies. We still see Scorched Earth in play as well, so Isaac can't pitch a card to Scorched Earth to draw 2 cards. So we're going to get that Claw right there, and a Fire Crystal as well. All the recursion. I mean, Isaac will probably just go Clara, pick up 2 fires, 9 Temptations out the Guzzlord, take it out, and that'll nail up the game right there. Getting the 2 fires, getting the Ho-Oh, and 1 other card. Sorry, chat. I'm trying to write down these player names so I can start hunting them down to pay me for the tournament. All right, all 12s right now. Cool. So, just getting back the 2 fire energies. Taking the knockout here with Flare Striker. Isaac moving down to 1 prize card. Does Ben have the sauce to take out this Cinderace? We see the 2 fires in Isaac's hand. We see the Evil Adamant Weavile come out, the DCE, and N to 1. This is devastating. Isaac doesn't have the Salazzle in play. He still has a Scorched Earth, though. If Ben can find Counter Stadium, this will very much put Isaac on the back foot. And this is where Ben will try to catch back up to... Is this any of these a stadium? None of these are a stadium, unfortunately. Discarding for trade. No Counter Stadium still. Because remember, chat, Isaac still does have full access to just put a card of whatever he wants on the top of his deck from Smooth Over. So finding the Counter Stadium would have been massive here, but unfortunately he does not get it. So this still put Ben in a bad position. Now this is Isaac's final turn. Let's see what he pulls out. What a crazy set. What a crazy game. Very back and forth. Hand is now touching the face. This is the thinking face from Isaac. Smooth Over. Oh, goodness. Alright, counting up the fires, counting up the discard. Isaac knows this is his final turn of play. What can he pull out here? He has to deal the 190 damage to knock out this Guzzlord, or find a way to gust and knock out something random on the bench. We'll see. Scorched Earth. What did we draw? Fire Crystal picks up the 3 fires. Lusamine. Pick up the Basin. And any supporter he chooses, the Blacksmith. Replaces Scorch with Basin. Attaches fire from discard to the Ninetales. 9 Temptations up, probably the Zora.